So today I wanted to do a power rankings of the 10 rappers going into 2025. Now the criteria of this is artists that I think have the most traction going into next year, or people that I think flat out dominated this entire year. Before my list, I have some honorable mentions. We're going to call this group In the Hut. These artists consist of Lucky, Smino, Lil Tecca, V's, West Side Gun, and No Cap. All of these artists either dropped great projects this year or are gearing up to drop something next year. Okay, getting into the real list. Coming in at number 10, we have Lil Uzi Vert. Now, he's been quiet for most of the year, but as of late, he's propelled himself back into rap convos with his practically surprise album, Eternal Take 2, dropping back on Halloween. Now, the album wasn't received well by most of the world, with most people calling it straight up trash. Now, diehard Uzi fans, myself included, I feel like the album grew on us a little more because we've seen Uzi use so many different sounds over the years. So we kind of got used to his more experimental sound, and we just take it for what it is. Now, don't get me wrong, this definitely might be the weakest album in his catalog, but there are some great songs on there that I think will stand the test of time in his catalog, like Lightyear, Chill Bay, and Goddard Song. Now, Uzi has hinted that this album is just a throwaway tape to get out of his deal, kind of like Endless with Frank Ocean back in the day. If that is the case, it would definitely be interesting to see what happens going into next year. Coming in at number 9, we have Travis Scott. Now, he's also been quiet in terms of dropping a new project, but he still managed to keep his voice in ears this year, dropping a handful of features with a wide range of artists from Playboi Carti to Ice Spice. But so far, we have no word on a new album, so he's at 9 and in jeopardy of falling back. Now, next up at 8, we have Jermaine Cole. Cole could easily be top 5 right now, with his tape earlier this year and the feature run that he's been on. But with him not standing on business with Kendrick, I feel like it halted a lot of momentum that he had this year, and it lands him at 8. He's been pretty quiet lately as well. Kendrick has this man reminiscing on the good old days, dropping his 3 mixtapes on streaming services. We all know Cole is working on something though, and it will be interesting to see what he has to say about everything that has transpired in his next tape. Coming at 7, we have Playboi Carti. Now, most of his fans will flock to the comments to say he needs to be in top 5, but why? Literally, someone tell me why. This man has not dropped a single body of work since 2020. I don't care about his little run of singles. I don't care about all the features that he's done on Vultures. This man doesn't do anything but edge his fans. And I really feel bad for the fans because it's like you guys accept this. You don't have to accept this. You can protest against this, Make him drop music. Hashtag make Cardi drop music. This is a pandemic. This is a problem. Cardi's at 7, okay? Cardi needs to drop music. Until he drops music, Cardi's at 7. And if I.M music doesn't drop soon, he's falling back. That's all I want to say. Coming in at number 6, we have Gunna. Now, say whatever you want about him on the street aspect, but this man has not let his foot off the pedal since coming home. And it continued this year when he dropped One of One back in May. He only had 2 features from rappers. That was Offset and Roddy Ricch. And he was still able to stream well. And he's practically doing all this with no support, being that he's been outcasted by pretty much the whole industry. You can think whatever you want about Gunna, but you cannot deny the work that he's putting in. It will be interesting to see what happens going into next year, now that the YSL trial is over. Coming in at number 5, I have Tyler, the Creator. Another artist who's been consistently delivering good projects over the last couple years. He's put his creativity on display again with his album Chromacopia dropping back in October. It showed us once again how Tyler can give us those classic poppy bangers like Judge Judy and Hey Jane, as well as his avant-garde rapping style like Thought I Was Dead. I think one of the biggest takeaways from this album in my eyes is Tyler's production. It's still continuing to get better. Solely producing and writing the tracks like this really shows how much of an artist Tyler truly is. When you hear beats like Thought I Was Dead, the drum pattern, the rhythm, I don't know what is that, a trumpet? I don't know what instrument that is, honestly, but just it's insane the level of work that Tyler is putting into this. And I think a lot of the industry doesn't want to put respect on him because I think they personally don't like his music. But in doing that, I think they undermine how talented he is and what he really gives to the game and the culture. Now, I do expect him to dip into future rankings, as Tyler has been known to go pretty quiet after album releases. But for right now, he's at 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Mr. Ye himself. Now, I'm actually going to make a separate video ranting about Ye and Vultures. So if you want to hear me go more in depth on that, I'll be posting the video soon. But with Ye's double collab album Vultures being released, I think it got a lot of negative reception from the community, which I don't understand at all. I think a lot of people wanted a massive album like his past works, especially with all the controversy and basically cancellation that he had going on at the time. And he did do that, but just in his own way. I think Ye gave us a massive album, but instead of making a grand solo album, he linked up with Ty and he made a fun album filled with club bangers to show how happy and free he genuinely is. One thing about Ye is he makes what he feels. So just because the world thought he was under pressure and his back was against the wall by getting dropped by Adidas and losing other deals, he's seen it as freedom. Ye was happy. Ye was free. And I think these albums are both a reflection of that. They're both solid and they both have great tracks on them that I think will be remembered. His next project, Bully, is in the works, and I think this is going to be what fans expected Vultures to be. Another magnum opus from Ye as he returns to the top of the game. Coming in at number 3, I have Drake. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying that Drake should be higher, but you cannot ignore that he's also had a big year. Even though he got lyrically annihilated by Kendrick, he still took the fade. He matched all of Kendrick's disses with responses. That still leaves room for people to argue for him, like his stands definitely do. I do think Drake's respect in the game is diminished a lot, especially after suing UMG over the Not Like Us song, which appears to most as just suing over the diss. But eyes are still on him, and people are still curious on what his next moves are. And whether some like it or not, he still has a shit ton of fans. So that puts him at 3. And coming in at number 2, we have Kendrick Lamar. A lot of y'all would probably have him at 1, but besides his beef with Drake, he was quiet in terms of body of work, which isn't unusual for Kendrick, by the way. He did eventually give us a project with GNX, but most real fans know this isn't the real album. And it was just a quick mixtape to mark his stamp at the top and shine light on local LA artists. The real album is most likely not dropping this year. So the only thing really carrying him this far is his beef and the GNX tape, which is why I have him at 2. And coming in at number 1, we have Future Hendrix, Dirty Soda, Spike Lee, White Girl, Ice T, Fully Loaded AP. Hold on, what? I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip flops. I just had some. Now, like I said, most people would have Kendrick at number 1 based off his beef with Drake and GNX. But Future truly had the best year. This man dropped 3 projects in 1 year that have still not left the charts. He first gave us a full 17-track album called We Don't Trust You back in March. Not to mention, it was his track like that that kicked off the whole beef with Kendrick and Drake. He then followed that up with another 18-track album titled We Still Don't Trust You that had 6 more bonus tracks. And most people would think, okay, Hendrix, that's enough. You really outdid yourself. But nah, this man said, I'm doubling back in September and I'm giving y'all niggas more. And he proceeded to drop Mixtape Pluto, another 17-track album with 0 features. This man lost his twin thugger and just decided to lock in. I mean, like, some people call it bloat, but I call it locked in, quite frankly. I think he had a goal and he said, fuck Drake. I'm against Drake. My nigga, my twin locked up. It's time to hit the studio. And that's what he did. And he delivered on every level. It's insane the year that Future had. And he's not really gotten the credit I think he deserves. Without the beef, I think most fans would see that it was really Future who dominated this year. So that's why I have him at number 1. I think it's really going to be interesting to see what happens next year. Will he continue this path of destruction and just dropping music? But I really want to see him lock in and drop a full body of work that doesn't seem kind of rushed and that kind of can have a nice flow to it. You know, we don't need 18 tracks Future. Give us 12. Give us 12, but give us 12 generational Future tracks. I think we would love that. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you guys like my rankings? Do you think there's other people that belong on this list? And who do you think should be ranked differently on this list? If you guys liked the video, please like, subscribe, and share to your fellow music lovers. I post daily hip-hop videos, and I'm just trying to get this music out of my head. Peace.